Good evening. October 26th, 1947 is the day Kashmir became a part of the Union of India. It was the day the state acceded to India and rejected the idea of Pakistan. It was the day that India truly became united in diversity. Obviously, it's a day to be celebrated. This year, the BJP, which is in power in Jammu and Kashmir, planned a massive celebration and for the first time since independence, called for a holiday to observe this day of great pride. But highly placed sources have told NewsX that the BJP's alliance partner, the PDP, was not keen to observe the day and glossed over the request. The PDP isn't the only mainstream Kashmiri party reluctant to celebrate this momentous day. The National Conference, led by the Abdullahs, has also toed the line of certain separatists. Its spokespersons say that celebrating October 26th will unnecessarily inflame passions, which is an indirect way of suggesting that Kashmir's accession to India is still widely opposed in the valley. This, as we know from the participation in elections, is a total fabrication. The question then arises, why are these parties mourning India's Day of Pride? What political compulsion is greater than India's national interest? Sohail, my colleague, is there.
Whether to commemorate and celebrate the day Jammu and Kashmir acceded with India has become the center of a new debate and political controversy in Jammu and Kashmir. BJP as a political party has asked all its cadres to celebrate this day across the length and breadth of the state, while parties like Congress and National Conference have targeted BJP for doing this. While Congress is of the opinion that the atmosphere and timing is not conducive for any such celebrations, on the other hand, National Conference has gone to the extent of saying that accession has been temporary and it continues to be so, and there's nothing great remnant in the accession that needs to be celebrated or commemorated, given that all the guarantees and conditionalities associated with the accession have been really not respected by the Union of India. With very journalist Farzad Ahmad, Sohail Bukhari, Srinagar, NewsX.
Now here's the perspective, reactions coming in from the National Conference. This is Omar Abdullah's uncle Mustafa. Listen in.
I deplore what BJP has said. It is only bullying tactics. It's a conditional arrangement at that time worked out. You are saying we acceded to Union of India, we embraced them in 1947. And the man, the architect of taking the Jammu and Kashmir together, rejecting the two-nation theory, was put into prison for 22 years. I'm not going to remember this day. I'll remember it as a dark day.
He said it, he remembers it as a dark day. The BJP disagrees. Listen in.
Well, we have always been committed to this accession because the accession was unconditional and irreversible according to the law which the British had created, which we all accepted as a basis for partition, and so many, almost 500 kingdoms merged on that accession principle, the instrument of accession. So I think I'm very happy that our state party is doing this, but the law is very clear that Kashmir, the whole of Kashmir, is an integral part of India, and I think the time has come for assertion of that.
Well, the accession day is an important day in the history of Jammu and Kashmir as well as in the history of India. We all are aware of the circumstances under which Jammu and Kashmir under Maharaja Hari Singh acceded to India. It was under attack from hordes of Pakistani troops dressed as tribesmen, and they were knocking at the doors of Srinagar when, unable to defend himself, the Maharaja acceded to India. So this is the historic importance of this day, which nobody can minimize.
And let's open this up to reactions coming in now from the Congress, which is also nonplussed. Listen in.
We have our own history, we have our background, therefore we are not going with the thinking and thoughts of the BJP. accession is there. We are not opposing it. But what to celebrate? One is there are different opinions and different people raising their different voices. It is not appropriate time to celebrate it. Our accession with India is clear, very much clear to whole nation, and it has nothing to celebrate.
You want from the Congress more breaking developments coming in beyond this time? Because the Congress has been celebrating this as a divisive plant. This is from the Congress at the center. Listen in.
I think this business of celebrations that the Bharatiya Janata Party is indulging in, if it divides the state, it hampers integration. I think it will not be advisable to have a thing. The sensitivity of that must be measured. The administration must take a call. It is not just enough to celebrate something which creates divisions amongst people. It is therefore important for the people of Jammu and Kashmir and all the other stakeholders are taken into confidence before any such celebrations takes place.
It's all rather vexing. Let's open this up. Joining us on the broadcast this evening, our resident editor there in Srinagar, Sohail Bukhari, who's going to give us a pulse of why this is such a vexatious issue at this point of time, 65 years later. R.P. Singh representing the Bharatiya Janata Party, Muhammad Ali Khan representing the Congress. Mr. Muhammad Ali Khan, let me come to you first, sir. Why is your party so reticent in recognizing and marking Accession Day? What is so controversial about this?
I disagree with your choice of words there, Rishabh. I don't think we are reticent. We acknowledge that this ascension is a historical fact. No one can deny it. We are saying that given the climate, exercise a greater degree of sensitivity. One of our leaders just said, take a measured approach. I think that right there is the answer. Don't stoke or provoke people in a particular way. Nobody stops you from celebrating things that you feel are of significance, of course, but there is a way to do it. And this, I'm certain many will agree, is in slightly poor taste because it can
hang
be
on, you say
interpreted
poor
as trying
taste.
to provoke
I'm
a
sorry,
particular
Muhammad Ali
segment.
Khan, if there are certain individuals in 1947 or 50 or 60 or in 2015 who were great proponents of the British Raj and might disagree with India's independence, should we stop marking India's Independence Day?
That is a deliberate misinterpretation of what I said. Now the fact remains
No,
that
you're saying marking accession of Kashmir to India is in poor taste. Explain that to me, sir.
Not at all. Not at all. In fact, if you will allow me, I will explain. The fact is the choice of celebration in a way that it tries to provoke a particular segment of people, or in so much as it is in your face, that might be in poor taste. Accession, celebrating ascension, and as I said earlier, is of course, you can celebrate it whichever way you like, as long as you don't encroach upon or stamp upon the sensibilities of other people concerned. You must understand this is a sensitive area, as I'm sure you will agree, as anyone who's familiar with the region will agree. So you have to exercise a greater degree of caution. Take a more measured approach. That is all we are saying.
It's caution and being measured. Don't rub it in their faces, R.P. Singh. The charge against your party and your coalition government at the state is that you're rubbing into the faces of the Kashmiri people the fact that they've acceded to India on the 26th of October 1947. Your take?
The party which is responsible for creating all this climate in Kashmir and country because of Kashmir and creating this situation of flux in Kashmir is saying so. Don't they accept that Kashmir was access to India and let them deny that? If they deny that, then we can understand this. But issue is they don't want to do it. And we are very clear. I mean, what's wrong in celebrating Kashmir accession was a big issue, and it happened because a lot of our leaders, a lot of people sacrificed their lives.
Okay, just stay with me, R.P.
How does it promote brotherhood? Tomorrow you will say that let's not sing the national anthem.
Okay, well, I'll get a pulse. I'll get a pulse from Sohail Bukhari.
That is an
on the ground there. Hang on with me, Mr. Ali Khan. Sohail Bukhari. Look, there is a debate in this country about Article 370. There might be a debate on a lot of things that go on in Kashmir, which are post facto of the accession. But why is there now a debate about marking the day of accession? Explain this to us.
Well, as far as the rest of the country goes, definitely it is beyond debate that Jammu and Kashmir has acceded to the Union of India and it's irreversible. But talking about Kashmir per se, there are still voices. One, of course, from the separatist camp who right and straight away deny the accession and its legitimacy. On the other hand, you even have mainstream political parties talking about the fact that it is temporary and or it was conditional, the conditionalities were not adhered to. And the simplest thing to put it is that at least the mainstream political parties would try and make themselves to be seen as representing the sentiment of their electorate, at least for the political gains. Now, if the political parties like Congress, National Conference and PDP are talking about this in such a tone, there ought to be some...
Okay, RP Singh, stay with me because I want to put some straight questions to Mr. Muhammad Ali Khan. Muhammad Ali Khan, you're a national party. People from Maharashtra to Bengal
I take
to
serious
Chennai.
objection to
Hang
this.
on, Mr. RP Singh, I'll give you a chance, sir. Are watching this broadcast. They want to know why your party seems to be on the same side of the fence as separatists.
I'm certain that people can make the distinction between us and the separatists. I don't think I don't think anybody would say that there is anything confusing about that. What I would say is that, is there anything wrong in what we are saying? We are simply saying that please celebrate whatever way you like, except insofar as it is deliberately designed to offend other people. If you want to mark Ascension Day, as you, Rishabh, as you said rightly, if you want to mark Ascension Day, do it in a way that promotes brotherhood. Do it in a way that promotes Aman and Shanti. Don't do it in a way that is deliberately designed to say that, yes, don't do it in a chest thumping way, especially when you know the sensitivities of the region. Be mindful of the history of the region. Be mindful of the people who are there. Do it in a way that you take everyone along. There's always a way to do it in a better fashion, and we are saying that the way the BJP has adopted is not necessarily
there were 500
the best.
plus princely states, RP saying, that acceded to the Union of India between 46 and 48. We don't celebrate accession day anywhere else. Why Kashmir?
No, let the state decide. The respective states, our state, decide that they want to celebrate it. So what's wrong in it? Now, why do they celebrate the martyrs there that happened, which has no relevance to Kashmir? They celebrate there. But if I have to put that question to Congress for that reason. So issue is there any harm? The problem is, I don't know, there was NC spokesperson saying that Mr. Abdullah was jailed for 22 years. He was jailed because he was hobnobbing for independent Kashmir even after being the Chief Minister of Kashmir. So issue is, put the things in perspective. And perspective is, together, everyone has voted for a government there, which is PDP, BJP-led government today. So together, what is wrong in it if they celebrate? It's nothing versus Kashmiri or Jammu or Hindu or Muslim. It's a complete state, citizens of states put together. It's nothing against versus someone else.
Okay, stay with me. Let's see if I can go back to Muhammad Ali Khan. Muhammad Ali Khan, if you're able to hear my voice. The premise is simply this, sir, that there are Indian soldiers who gave their lives to free and retain the state of Jammu and Kashmir. I'm told I'm lost that connection there. We come back. I need to slip into a short break. We are coming back to this discussion. Both my guests are staying with me because the premise has not been resolved yet on why several mainstream parties have such an issue. We're coming back. Stay with us.